I need to take a second here because I'm still quite literally shaking about how that game just ended. As I guess I should say, the Miami Hurricanes crawl away with a 38-34 win versus Virginia Tech. Listen, after the Hurricanes had that drive to take the lead, and they just needed one stop, right? Virginia Tech got the ball back with like 2 timeouts, just under 2 minutes to go. And of course, I'm thinking the Canes are going to win. And I had this whole idea about how I was going to start this video. And I was going to say, yeah, I know the Knicks traded for Karl-Anthony Towns, but I don't care because this is a football town, baby. Well, a college football town. But the Dolphins don't play till Monday, so they can't ruin my weekend, technically. But I am just too stunned at how this game ended that I can't even get hype about it yet. I mean, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I guess the only thing that compares is the Fail Mary back when they had the fill-in refs in the NFL a few years back. When it was, the Packers and the Seahawks, where one ref called touchdown, the other ref called interception. This was like that. And I guess for some additional context, if you didn't watch the game, I mean, where do I even begin? The Canes were pretty much down from the jump. Cam Ward fumbled off rip. Virginia Tech went down to score. It was 7-0, and the Canes were pretty much trailing, about 10 for majority of the game. I don't have the exact breakdown, but they were staying in it. They certainly got some big breaks. Before the end of the first half, the dumbass coach for Virginia Tech called like a timeout with 25 seconds left. And then he kicked the field goal when he could have just let the clock run out. But because he didn't, the Canes were able to get the ball back and kick a field goal to make it just a one-possession game going into the second half. There was also a point, I believe it was in the second half, where they were up by 10 points. They were going to kick an easy chip shot field goal, but instead the Virginia Tech coach decides to fake it. The Canes get a stop, and then they go right down the field and score a touchdown to just keep it, a one-possession game to really, really keep themselves in it. And then the Canes end up getting to, a 3-point game. Cam Ward's driving them down the field, has a 4th down play in which he throws to a slipping Xavier Restrepo, who falls on his back, reaches backward, and snags in just a glorious ball sent from the heavens of Cam Ward on his back. Just a miracle, thank God, Jesus Christ play to keep that drive alive. And then just a couple plays later, Cam Ward's about to get sacked to lose like 5 or 6 yards. I think it was 1st down, but still late in the game, the Canes are down. They need to get a touchdown to take the lead. But Cam Ward somehow majestically, magically escapes 2 defenders and does like a little 2-hand chest pass to Riley Williams, who almost takes it to the house. Carries that wacky ball like almost 20 yards. And the Canes end up scoring the next play. That was the game winner right there. And that was almost all she wrote until just the wild ending in which, Virginia Tech's making their way down the field. They're doing the little push shots. Canes are playing prevent defense, keeping Virginia Tech in front of them. And Virginia Tech's chipping away. Terrible clock management by their coach again. But anyways, we get to the final play of the game. 3 seconds left. Virginia Tech's got about 30 yards to get a touchdown. They need one because they're down 4 points. And, of course, being the Miami Hurricanes, they can't make anything easy. So the guy in Virginia Tech, the quarterback, who I guess is apparently Cam Ward's cousin, actually, which is pretty interesting, drops back, throws, a bit of a Hail Mary, 30-yard Hail Mary into the end zone. About 2 Virginia Tech guys jump up, 3 Hurricanes jump up, and the ball comes down, but whose hands is it in? Initially, I'm scared. I don't see the ball on the ground. I see that it's in bounds. I'm terrified that the Canes just lost this game on a Hail Mary. And then you see someone on the Canes get up. They start running away with the football. They flashing the lights. Canes win. Oh, wait a minute. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. And now we go into what was like a 5 to 10 minute replay. Just looking back and forth. And the commentators don't necessarily agree. I mean, they kind of do to the extent where they don't think there's conclusive evidence. So they think the call should just stand what's on the field, which is usually how it goes. I like to think that I'm not being biased here, but I don't think it was a touchdown. I think it was the right call. kind of what happens is if you watch the play, I'd show it here, but I think I'd get copyright strike because it happened before. So just look it up on Twitter after this. But what happened is there was basically a giant dog pile of people. Nobody actually has possession of the ball, and it lands in just the lap of one of the Virginia Tech players, but there's no possession there. And then they're pretty much all either out of bounds, or it is the Canes guy who sees the ball laying there on someone's lap and just grabs the ball. And to me, that's the first time anyone actually had possession, is when the Miami Hurricanes had the ball. But anyways, they call touchdown, and it's close. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I say I'm not biased. I don't think it was a touchdown, but I'm not gonna say it's not even close. But then we get, after the replay, my heart's pounding. You see the official walk up to the TV, and he says, the call on the field. And I'm like, uh-oh. You know, anytime they keep it short, they say the call on the field stands. They don't know. Get the hell out of here. But no, he says the call on the field is reversed, and then drops the mic and gets out of there. And everyone was stunned. Cam Ward was stunned. The audience obviously went crazy, but I think everyone there was stunned for the most part. I listened to Mario Cristobal's interview after, and he just said they need to play less sloppy. You need to play less sloppy, you bum. Over there calling timeouts. At the end of the game, too, when Virginia Tech is driving, they're all over the place. They're rushing. They're trying to conserve their timeouts. And then Mario Cristobal is calling his timeouts so he can let Virginia Tech's offense settle in. I think that's stupid. I think that's terrible coaching. It reminds me of when Adam Gase said that he felt queasy and was calling timeouts to stop the clock back when Aaron Rodgers was driving down the field for a game-winning touchdown against the Miami Dolphins. Anyways, I never agree with the defense calling timeout when the offense is rushing to get their plays off. Let them be chaotic. Let them be all out of the place. Maybe they commit penalties, false starts, too many men on the field. But when you call a timeout as the defense, that gives them a chance to settle in and gives them a chance to set up that Hail Mary play that damn near won in the game. So once again, I don't like anything Mario Cristobal brings to the table. He's calling timeouts on 3rd and 1 earlier in the game when you should have a play ready for 3rd and 1, Mario Cristobal. You should not be having to conserve or waste your timeouts for that call. But anyways, it was enough to beat a not great Virginia Tech team today, but certainly not a terrible one. Obviously, the schedule the rest of the way isn't easy, but you don't really have any great opponents other than Louisville. But, you know, I'm not penciling anything in as a win. I don't think you can do that in sports in general. So it's just nice that they got a win. Now they got a tough one at 10:30 p.m. next weekend versus Cal. But anyways, what another monster game for Cam Ward. We'll go through the stats today for him. 24 of 38, 343 yards. Once again, 5 straight games to start the season with over 300 yards. I smashed over 315 yards in the anonymous player prop betting app that doesn't sponsor me, so I won't say their name. So I obviously did very well today. Did have 4 touchdowns, but had the fumble early on and 2 picks. The pick actually early was very unfortunate because I got to correct something I said earlier in the video. The Canes were up 14-17 in the first quarter. They were driving once again. Cam Ward throws a touchdown pass, I think, to either Keontae George or Restrepo or someone. But there's a holding call on number 70 who really screwed us. So pushed us back 5 yards. And then the next play, Cam Ward threw what was almost a pick 6. And then from there, Virginia Tech ended up scoring. And we went from almost being up 14 to a tie game. And then that's when Virginia Tech kind of took off and was leading almost the whole way until the very end there. So Cam Ward, that was a bad pass by him. Did have the bad interception later in the game. So he's been good with the interceptions so far. I think he only had 2 prior today, but obviously he had 3 turnovers today. They survived that. So hopefully that's something he cleans up going forward, and you were lucky to get away with the win in which he made those mistakes. But overall, just making absolutely beautiful plays. Obviously, he's very accurate. He has a deep ball. The running today was phenomenal. His best running game of the season so far, I believe, at least the most impactful. Had a lot of 3rd down conversions with his legs. Had 10 carries for 57 yards with a long of 19. But, outside of all that other stuff, his accuracy, his ability to fit into tight windows, it's his poise and his confidence that really impresses me the most game after game. Again, he's not a young guy. He is a senior, but his ability to not be rattled after a big play, or if his first option isn't there, or if he's getting pressured, right? Because when I compare him to a guy like Tua, Tua really doesn't get rattled after a big play or a bad play. We've seen Tua come back with nice touchdown drives after some pretty bad picks, but he's terrible when his first option isn't open. He's terrible when he's getting pressured. Cam Ward is not. You know, we talked about the late play earlier in this video where he evaded two almost sacks to do a chest pass to the guy. His just improvisation is incredible. And he doesn't get rushed by anyone on the defensive end. He really seems to see the game at such a slow pace, which is what the elite players do, because he's able to find those pockets and he doesn't rush when he's scrambling. It always looks like he is still calculating what to do in his head while he's scrambling. Everything is calculated with him. And that's why I think he's going to be an incredible quarterback in the NFL too. Obviously, he's the leader in Heisman right now. I think today very much so helped his case. Obviously, it was a close game, but he led the touchdown drive. The numbers are still amazing. So I believe he will still be the leader in that category. And obviously, come, NFL draft next season, they were saying their expert had him as like the 4th quarterback off the board. And I know the commentators were disagreeing with that too. Listen, I don't really know what else is out there. I know there's some other good QBs out there like Bama and Tennessee and whatever. But I know Cam Ward. And I know that he'll be a great NFL player for the Miami Dolphins, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. But he was just amazing today and made such incredible plays time and time again. I love his poise. He's awesome. He's fun. And I guess in general, it's just really nice to be excited about the Miami Hurricanes once again, because I haven't been this into a Hurricanes game in some years, man. So it was so much fun just to get back into it again. What else we got here? On the rushing side, Martinez had a nice little bounce back, 60 yards for him on just 14 carries. You on the receiving side, Carlos Arroyo. Jeez, my mind's in heat mode here. Elijah Arroyo, 88 yards on 2 catches, had a very big play early on. Restrepo did his thing, 60 yards, 59 for Jacoby George, and you had a few other guys there. Horton, of course, Riley Williams and Sam Brown, all in the 30s. So Cam Ward likes to spread the ball around. He gets everyone involved. I think that's part of what makes an offense lethal and the offensive line has been great last year and to start this year, and they weren't great today. They gave up a lot of easy pressures on like some big third downs. I know they were saying that Virginia Tech, I forgot that guy's name, but he was apparently leading FBS in sacks. They say he might be the best pass rusher. He did get free a couple times today, so I understand Virginia has a good D-line, but I want to see Miami's O-line hold up better in some of those bigger spots. But defensively, though, they missed way too many tackles today. If they had just made half of the tackles they should have, this game would have never even came down to the Hail Mary that I can't say enough. Thank God that they got away with the win. Because I had all my whole setup here. I was ready just to put it all away. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this Miami Hurricanes game. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you do like the football content, make sure to like and subscribe, because I am trying to grow this side of the channel, because the Miami Heats, who knows what they're going to do this year. They certainly won't be better than the Knicks at this point. I don't think so. But we'll be here with tons of Heat content too, because media day is on Monday. Subscribe for all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in the city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.